For those of you all who are joining the first time, I am super excited to have you. My name is Crystal Clark. I am from Virginia Beach, Virginia, right here on the East Coast. But I am part of a dynamic team, Family First Life National, where the ladies are rocking and rolling, kicking butt and taking apps. And like Jonna said, getting rich. We are getting paid up in here. So if this is your first time at Thrive, I just want to welcome you. I just want to let you know that this is a ladies' call. This is a safe place for all of us ladies to come together so that we can thrive and grow together. My goal is for us to talk about things that are very pressing to us as ladies, things that are going to help us to enhance our business, but most importantly, help us just become dynamic women so that we can be everything to everybody at all times, but, still remain standing, okay? With our sanity, all right? Okay. So tonight, well, first of all, last year, we went a whole year every month, the first Thursday of the month with Thrive. And I tell you, I don't know, every first Thursday, I got super excited. I couldn't wait. And then literally like 10 minutes before the call, I would get up, go use the bathroom because my nerves would kick in, right? Because I just wanted the call to go so well. And it didn't change. The same thing happened today. And I was like, man, I'm super excited because the speaker that we have tonight, I couldn't think of anybody else to kick off this year like this young lady. I know that she's just gonna bring us the fire. I know she is. So let me just give her a little introduction. Of course, I will have her just kind of talk a little bit about herself, but I am just gonna say that I'm super excited to have her. I actually saw her on stage for the very first time. In Florida at the Ignite conference. And the minute she hit the stage, okay, so first of all, let me just say this. They tell musicians, all right, that if you are the lead singer, don't give anybody your mic, okay? Why? Because the person that's got the mic is in charge. Well, let me just tell you something. This lady got that mic and she was in charge. And I was so proud, just as another female in the business and a mover and shaker, just to see her own it. And so tonight I have none other than, and I'm praying I do not mess up her name. I know I got to be fancy with it, but Miss Bilha Wichara. She's all the way from Washington State, so she is on the West Coast, all right? And she is going to bring the fire. Hey, Bilha, I'm about to ping you so we can spotlight you. How are you?
Good to see you all. I'm excited. I've never had a Zoom that's just girl power over here. I
Hey,
like that.
we play no games over here. I just look, it's no pressure, girl. It's a bunch of girls. We're gonna be like Wendy Williams. How you doing? Okay. How you doing? We're gonna let our hair down and we are going to just have a nice conversation. And we just got some lookers. How about that?
Great.
Awesome. So, Bilha, first of all, we know that you are a mover and shaker in this industry, in the insurance business with our company, Family First Life. Tell me, well, first of all, I know you're from Washington State. How did you get to Washington State? Let's start there.
So, my name is Bilha Washira. I am from Kenya, in Africa. And I go to Washington State because I think most Kenyans in the US live in Washington, Texas, Massachusetts, about 4 states that you get lots of Kenyans live. And I wanted to be around my community. So I had lots of cousins, I had lots of family here. So that's how I ended up in Washington.
Nice. Wow. That's awesome. Honestly, being in the United States, like you said, you have those common markets, right? And
Yes.
so I just love to hear someone that's from a state that you just don't think about all the time, or you don't hear too often. When we think Washington, D.C. Right. And I'm right here from Virginia. So of course, to me, Washington, D.C. is literally just a stone throw away. So how did you get started in the insurance industry?
I've sold insurance all my life. So when I
Wow.
was in college, I was studying Bachelor of Commerce. And I was an evening student. I don't know if you guys do evening classes. My classes would be 5 p.m. to I think 7 p.m. or 6 to 9 p.m. And I had the whole day. I was in college and I had the whole day to myself. And my mom is a pusher, and I thank God for her. My mom, School of Hard Knocks, God bless her. She don't play. She said, you can't be sitting here all day waiting to go to class at 5. Go do something. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And she kept throwing these things. You could try this, you could try that. And then she told me, oh, there's this guy that sold life insurance to me 3 years ago, and he's wearing nice suit. I'm like, oh, really? So in Africa, that's a thing. So he has these power suits going, so he must be making some money. Go see what they do. Then I'm like, no, because I don't want to knock people's doors. Like, I mean, my idea of what insurance sales was is those agents that keep getting rejected and they go knocking people's doors. And I didn't want to be that person. And I told her, no, I don't think that's my thing. Then she said, just go try. What have you got to lose? And I live by that today. Just try. What have you got to lose? If it doesn't work, then you're going to say, I gave it a shot and I didn't like it. Right?
Right.
So I went in and tried, and I went into training. And in Africa, they give you papers. We used to do papers. There's no e up there. Maybe now there is. And they tell you go to the field. We didn't have leads in Africa. So you went door knocking, offices, it was before 9/11, so we didn't have all the security and all that. You could walk into a hospital and sell to a doctor. You could just walk into people's offices and sell. And I think that's where I learned my networking, my ability to walk in and just speak to strangers. That's why I don't buy leads today. So I just went back to her. She worked for like the IRS in Kenya. And I said, okay, they gave me these papers and they did them filled out. And she wrote me a list of her friends. And she said, go talk to them. And every Friday, we had to go for a meeting and report production. Every Friday at 2, we had to go report production. And I had 6 applications. I didn't even know that that was good business. I was like, oh, I have 6. And they're like, people are clapping. That's a new agent her first week. And I'm like, oh, is that a good thing? And I'm talking this because I want to speak to new agents. Sometimes you don't know that you're good at this because you're not giving it a good shot. You're taking it for granted. And until you give it a good shot, you might not even know that you're good at it. This was me just following instructions. Go for training. Okay, here's paperwork. Okay, go to the field. Okay, here's a list of people. Go talk to them. And on Friday, I didn't even know that 6 apps is a good thing.
Right.
So I didn't think that it was possible until I gave it a good shot. Right? And then commission hit. Oh my God. And I was 23.
Tell you something. It's always good when that commission hit, right?
Yes. So commission hit, and I was like, whoa. What if I did 10 more?
Right.
What if I did 3 more? So I kept going to the field and I started growing and making more money. What if I did more? To a point where my income had surpassed the entry level, minimum wage, whatever the job I could get at my age, I was already making more in insurance. I never got employed in insurance.
How old were you? How old were you then at
How
that
old?
start? Yes.
23.
So 23 years old.
Yeah.
23 years old, your door-to-door sales, hitting the pavement, paper apps,
No car.
walking,
Public
no
transport. Public transport.
using public transportation. And okay, so just for the sake of all audiences, some public transportation for some people is not a bad thing. Okay, we have some agents that are from DC, from metropolitan areas, as we call it. So
Yeah.
public transportation in that sense is like,
And that's
oh,
in Africa, in a
okay,
third
but
world country.
and that's what I was going to say. What is your definition of public transportation? Because I'm pretty sure it's not my definition of public transportation. So please tell us, elaborate.
Yeah, it's noisy. You are all squashed in there. If you Google public transportation in Africa, and I still have to carry my folder with my paperwork and my,
Mhm.
so
So are we talking buses,
yeah,
trains,
they're buses. Yeah, they're
buses?
buses. So
Okay.
I'm busing my way to the next appointment. But so what I did is that I learned it's easier for me to get to one building and get to know everybody and stay in that building all day. So I learned to network around people, and I learned to ask for referrals. So if I went to a corporate, say Amazon, it was beautiful before 9/11. If I
Right.
went to Amazon, for example, I'm just giving an example, I made sure that I made lots of friends, and my clients referred me to other clients, and I was moving from second floor to fourth floor in their boardrooms, in their meeting rooms, till I could buy a car. And I bought my first car. And now I could drive to my appointments, I could drive to golf tournaments, I could, go to events. And yeah, that's how I started. And I'm grateful that I started in Africa, because it has made it so easy for me here,
Mhm.
because I know how to network. I know how to get into spaces. I know how to target influencers. I know how to target persons of influence that can move my business. I know how to ask for referrals, because I did it for years. You
Yeah.
know, I did
And
it
at
for
such a young
years.
age to
Yeah,
operate in that way with no fear, you're
yep,
talking 23 years old. So my daughter is 23.
yep,
Okay.
yep.
She just graduated with her master's. Thank you, God. She's done with school. Hallelujah. Thank you. But she's 23. So I'm
Yep,
thinking to myself, could I see her doing what
yep,
you did at 23? And the answer is going to be a very strong
absolutely.
no.
And she's in a CEO's office asking him, hey, take out your phone and give me 5 of your friends.
There
And
it
they would
is.
do it. They
There
would
it
do
is.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
confidence. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Now with that, just dynamics wise, are you an only child? Are you the oldest?
No, I'm the first one.
Okay.
I
Okay.
wish I had it rough. And I think that was a good thing, because I'm a fighter.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes that does, I don't know. Everybody is their own individual, so
yeah,
it doesn't matter. Just the fact that you did what you did is
yeah.
awesome. So fast forward now. Now you come here, you're in Washington State, you're thriving, you're killing it. What was your greatest accomplishment last year in this business?
Uh,
Do you feel?
the fact that all I wanted was Hall of Fame,
Mm-hmm.
and I doubled it and still went ahead. I just wanted Hall of Fame. Can I be a Hall of Fame producer? So I was trying to do everything I can to just wear that red jacket,
Right.
right? I really wanted, can I just be a Hall of Fame producer? And then I hit it, I think in June. I was like, whoa. And the me before would have said, I'm good. I can vacation for the rest of the year, which is what I used to do. When I would hit targets, I would relax and go on vacation. I'm sorted. Commissions will still keep coming, right? But I didn't stop. I said, let me see where this goes, right? And then I figured, oh my God, this is doable. There's nothing special about $1 million producers. They just keep going. They don't stop. I used to stop. I would make 20 grand. I'm going on vacation. I would be in Florida. I'm rich.
Right. I mean, I'm just thinking, let's just think about this for a second. So, I think that was you in the very beginning. You literally said, I went out and I got 6 apps in one day, and I didn't even know that was good.
Yeah.
And then the deposit hit. I mean, that was the seed. right there. Would you not agree? That was the seed. And so fast forward, I'm not going to
Yeah.
give years, but fast forward today, you're saying, I want to hit Hall of Fame. I'm going to keep going, but that's not my finish line. I'm going to run through the finish line and
Yeah.
keep it going. Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it started with you very early. So what would you say gives you that drive? Because as women, and this is a women's call, as women, one of the things that we talked about a lot last year was just multitasking, wearing all the different hats, and how do we juggle it all, right? We're mothers, we're fathers, some of us, we're doctors, lawyers, attorneys, psychiatrists, pediatricians, cooks, like we do all, and we're business women, and we do all of these things. What is your driving force? What is your motivator that makes you say, 20,000? No, that's not enough. Hall of Fame? I'm gonna double up on them. What is it that makes you go?
I think I went through a transformation. I got myself into coaching last year, but one. I got a life coach, right?
Okay.
And I was working through all my issues and, what I was unsettled about, you know, and that helped me a lot. And I feel more women need to get into personal coaching because your personal life will affect your business, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Half the reason men do better than women is because men are selfish. Do we have men? Do we have men here?
They shouldn't be, but if they are, so be it. Say what you gotta say.
Men go for what they want with no apologies. If they have to be in the office till midnight, they have to be gone for the week, they go. Women, we have children, we have their friends, we are naturally naturals and people pleasers, right? So you have the community, you have the friends, you're trying to be everything for everybody except yourself, and you put yourself last, right? Oh, it's the husband, it's the boyfriend, it's the children, it's my parents.
Yeah.
When is it you? When do you choose you? When do you put you? What do I? It was always me thinking, what does my child need? What does my partner need? Oh, my family. It was always me thinking about everybody else to a point where I was so drained that I didn't focus on my business. And the first thing I did last year, January, I got out of the house. I was working. I went and got an office. I'm not gonna be making lunch at 11 and laundry at 3.
Right.
So I got
Right.
out of it because that's the thing. As a woman, we just things bother us. Like, oh, there's dishes in the sink. Okay, if I could get this done, I can go back to work, right? So you have all these oh, the cat is coughing. There's all this because we don't know how to men can compartmentalize things in a way that it don't matter what's happening around them, they can still keep their focus going. Women, when you get a heartbreak, oh, you're crying for 3 months, calling your friend for hours, and your credit is going south because the bills are bouncing. And I wanted to be able to get to a place where I was in control.
Mm-hmm.
In spite of what was going on around me, I had to keep going because we are very emotional people. It's very easy to get knocked off. It's very easy to get influenced. So I put me first and I asked myself, Bilha, what do you want this year? You've done a lot for everybody else. And every time I went to convention, I kept thinking, I think I can be a Hall of Fame producer. I would look at people in the and I'm like, I think I can do that. But when I went home, I just did other things, then came back again and I think I can be. So
Yeah.
this year I said, you know what? I'm gonna put me first and I'm gonna give this my best shot because I think I can do it. I'm just not doing it.
Mm.
The only reason you're not Hall of Fame is because you're not doing it. You're not giving it 100. You have all these distractions. You have all these friends around you that are not helping you grow, that are wasting your time. You're hanging out 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're hanging out with friends that are not building your business or helping you go to the next level. So I had to cut off lots of people. I had to go in isolation for a while just to focus and get to figure out what I wanted. So when I went in with just tunnel vision. This
Mhm.
is where I'm going. Whatever happens here will not affect where I'm going.
Right.
And that
How,
was important for me because it was a tough year for me again. Other things happened that would have threw me off, and they almost did, but they did not, because I remember to keep going. Yeah.
yeah, now I'm just totally, I'm spiraling here. So let me get back on track. Okay, first question, how many conventions did you go to before hitting Hall of Fame?
3.
Three. So you went for
And let
three?
me tell you what I used to do, because I know some of you, okay, at least we're not in Miami. I would check who the speaker is and disappear to South Beach a little bit. That's how unserious I was. And that's why I think Sean took us to
Mm,
Texas. Like, I don't want you guys partying or going to the beach. But right now, I'm attending each. And last year, I didn't miss a single one. I sat
mhm.
through every speaker, every presentation, and I took notes because I figured the difference between me and them is what they're doing that I'm not doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I went back home, and all the notes that I took, I stuck them on my desk and I implemented everything.
yeah. You said it. You hit it because my first convention was in Miami.
Oh.
So the convention that you went to, that was my first one.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I think coming from the East Coast, okay, because I'm in Virginia, when they moved convention to Texas, I personally was like, "Are you serious, Texas?" Like, no, I want to go to Florida, right?
Yeah.
But for the very reason that you said, because so many agents, I would see many agents go half a session, and you're right. Are we really taking it seriously? And
Yeah.
just something as important as going to every session and taking notes is what helped to trigger you. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then you continue to say, I can do this. I think I can do this. I know I can do this, right? And I love the fact that you got a life coach. Oh my goodness. I think you're the first speaker that we've heard to say that you got yourself a life coach. So talk to us about that, like, because you're right, the personal side of us and the business side of us, if our personal side is jacked up, not too often do we pour ourselves, especially into business. We may leave everything, but the pouring is a little bit different. I know that you felt a substantial change with your life coach. You still have your life coach now, and what are some of the things that you do developmental wise to help you to sustain?
Um, I would say
Because I think a lot of last year, or I feel, affirmations, just a lot of personal development. That is something that we under national, we really, we really like work on that. We work on the fundamentals, but then we're also working on, that core uh, foundation of well-being, like you
yeah,
said,
yeah,
just that daily, okay, I have those daily talks with myself, getting our mindset right. Like mindset is everything.
yeah.
So with for you, I guess that's what I'm basically trying to say. What do you do to help continue to keep in mind? Because having a life coach is awesome. I
Yeah.
know they give you tips, I know they give you homework assignments, things for you to work on. But what does Bilha do, and especially for her team, to encourage her team? For those
Yeah.
people that don't have life coaches, right? You may be
Yeah.
their life coach.
I think for me, the biggest thing was the fact that I was putting myself last.
Mm. You
And
had to change some positioning.
putting yourself first in all aspects,
Mhm.
your health, your finances, your relationships, right? So I audit every aspect of my life. Is it building me? Is it good for me? Is it helping me grow? Right? Before I let everybody in, right? At
Mhm.
this point, I am auditing every aspect of my life. Where is my money going? Do I like these people? Is this a good friend for me? Before I used to wonder if they like me. Now I wonder if I like them.
Mm. Mm.
Because then if they're not good for me, then it means they'll be in my path, they'll be a distraction. And women, we are very good at brewing drama and doing things that are negative, that distract each other. And I've learned to align myself with women that are going where I want to go. So I'm like, okay, I like this person, but they're not on the same path as I am.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I've learned to make great friends from my clients, from my team, and
Mm-hmm.
also relationships, right? The relationship you're in is the biggest thing. The one thing that will influence you is the person you're married to, the person you're dating, the person you're with. Are they making you angry? Are you constantly angry in a way that you lost half the morning being mad at something? I mean, are you auditing? I constantly audit.
Mm.
Constantly audit. Am I being a good mother? Right? Am I balancing? Am I working too much and forgetting my child? Am I having mom guilt? That's a real thing for women.
Yeah.
Feeling like you're working too much and not spending enough time with your kids, and sometimes you beat yourself up. So I'm constantly very conscious of everything that's happening and moving things around to make sure that, one, what are my priorities? Can I count them? Am I working towards those? My health, my spirituality, my child. Am I working towards those things? And this thing that I'm doing right now, is it going to build me, or is it going to am I letting me down?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why I'm mad at myself right now is because I figured I would have been a $1 million producer 3 years ago. And I'm mad. I would have been rich right now. I was wasting time with a lot of things that are not important, that then I thought they were important, having a clique of friends and hanging out. And
Yeah.
my mentor is Juan Franco. And Juan Franco told me for 2 straight years he didn't go on vacation.
Yeah.
And I figured people make sacrifices to be where they are. Nothing comes easy, but when it comes, it's worth it. Because when you're at the top, it feels great. You have no idea. Just seeing your bank balance, you have to take a picture. Is this my bank balance? Let me take a picture. Because there's a time the bills could meet the money. So it's exciting to be able to just think, oh, I can buy $1 million home. It's exciting. There are things that, those things that you thought were just dreams. And I don't know if you have people of color here. And sometimes people of color, we think that some things are not for us, right? We are even afraid to say $1 million. We don't think that's something cut out for us because we've been taught that there's humility. There's no humility in poverty or suffering, or money is not everything. Only people with no money say money is not everything.
Yeah.
Money will solve 80% of your problems. So when you get up there, it feels great. And when you realize what it took you to get there, you figure out you should have done it 3 years ago. Yeah, you'll be mad at yourself because you're probably struggling with bills, with debt, you can't even qualify for a house. All those things you're struggling with right now would be next year. And my story is, when I was trying to buy a house in 2022, they said I could not even qualify for 400,000. And last year they were like, can you explain these large deposits? They thought somebody was money laundering in my bank account. And I'm like, that's income. And I had to prove it. I had to give my 1099, right? But what was the difference between 2023 and 2024 is how I was spending my time, is what I was reading, is who I was following. On social media, don't go there reading crap from everybody. You can spend hours on social media. I follow Sean Mike. Sean Mike is no nonsense.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, he doesn't play about focus and discipline and all that. And when I'm feeling a little crappy, I go to his page and I wake up very fast. So
Right.
what you're feeding your mind with, who you are surrounding yourself with, will determine the pace and the mood for that day.
Agreed. Totally
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
Surrounding one of the things that I want to accomplish with Thrive, of course, is this is a safe haven. At least once a month, ladies can come here. They know we share the same woes, same issues, but we learn how to, number one, encourage each other, fix each other's crowns, and definitely praise one another. And I said it all last year and I'm gonna say it all again this year. I am going to yell at the top of my lungs for every female that walks across the stage at conference. I don't care what ethnicity they are, because I feel like as ladies, that is already an accomplishment, right?
yeah, yeah,
Because of the unsaid job criteria that we have that was pretty much labeled with the since birth, right? So
yeah,
it is a lot, but to thy own self be true. We are the ones that determine that. And I love what you said. Ladies, I want to encourage y'all, because Bill, what I do is every 30 days, I kind of give them an assignment. And I'm going to give everybody an assignment right now that for the next 30 days, just act like a man. Act like
yeah,
be selfish as you know what. I don't want to cuss, but be selfish and put yourself first. They will be okay, right? They will be all right. I know for me, the switch, I don't know what it was or what, well, I do know what it was, but I just had a major switch that took place right around the middle of end of October. And ever since the switch, and those that know that are in the WhatsApp, y'all seen my switch. It has just been boom, boom, boom. Why? Because sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Tired of being just average or just enough or just a little bit. But most importantly, I did exactly what you said. I put myself first. I started saying no, like no, all of a sudden became it's my favorite word. Nope, no, absolutely not. Right? I'm just, So ladies, think like a man. And not only think like a man, act like the man. And just put yourself first. And that's from Bilha herself. We're gonna peg that for the next 30 days. So before I open up for questions, I got one last question. What would you say what is your goal for this year? It's 2025, it's a new year. So you have done amazing things. I mean, just from your past to where you are now. But again, you're that push through the finish line type of chick. I like you. I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks, because I'm going to run straight to you, right? At
yeah.
conference. But what is your goal? What are you pushing through for 2025? What's your goal? What you got on the plate for us?
Uh, it's 1 million,
Okay.
but
Hit that
now
million.
I want to take people with me.
Mm-hmm. How many
I'm
people you have
not
on your team, Bill? Huh?
about 15 right now.
Okay.
I was not very keen on building.
Mm.
In my head, I thought this is a lot of work, you know, mentoring people. But now my experience is when you're mentoring people, then you're constantly in the mode for work, because if I didn't want to wake up and I'm training an agent at 9, I have to get out.
Yeah.
If an agent calls and says, I have a client on Zoom, I need your help, I gotta get up. So I figured that I don't even need a push when I'm supporting other people. There's nothing that inspires you more than motivating another person.
Mm-hmm.
You feel better just moving them from point A to point B, and watching my new agents sell 40,000 a month. And I'm like, I should get 5 of those now. Just seeing how
Right.
they came in, their financial situation and where they are, and where they could go.
Mm.
So I'm excited about building I want to build about 5 Hall of Famers. Just hold their hands, and I've identified who they are. I'll just hold their hands to Hall of Fame. I hope they get there and double it, right? So I'm looking to do my own million and help other agents do Hall of Fame or do 1 million, whatever it is that they need. I don't want to go alone. It was very lonely when I was constantly alone. So I now want to take people with me.
There you go. Yeah.
Mhm.
I like it. I'm not on your team, but you're already looking at one Hall of Famer right here. So it don't even matter. We all in the national. We all in the same family. I
Yeah.
feel you, and I love it. I love it. You know what, Bill? How you said it so smooth. Did y'all hear what she said, ladies? She said, "I want to build 5 Hall of Famers or 1,000,000. Whichever comes first." Like, I love it. I love it. I'm raising my hand. I'm all in. I want to open it up. We trying new things in 2025. I would like to open up for anyone that has a question. Raise your hand if you have a question. I'm gonna see if I can see everyone here. If you got a question that you would like to ask Bilha. Anybody have a question? Or if you want to drop it in the chat. Yes, Corey, go ahead and unmute. Can you unmute? Will it let you? There you go. We can't hear you though, Corey. You're unmuted, but we can't hear you. So work on that. I'm gonna go to Priscilla. Priscilla, go ahead and unmute.
Hey, how you doing? I'm a new agent or whatever.
Welcome.
How you doing? Anyway, I have a question. So, as far as like what you meant by your team, do you have anyone like any new agents looking like they becoming Hall of Famers?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Oh, she's right here. Oh my God. I see her. Yeah. Yeah, I have one that just started, I think 4 months ago. Oh,
Nice.
she's gonna sing, I think did around 40,000 in December.
Beautiful.
And I told her, if you keep doing what you're doing, it's always when you stop that it stops.
What do you, I just got to interject. I just want to jump in because I know it's a lot of ladies up here. I know some of my sisters that are here, Amaka, KG, myself, Shat, like we are, Shannon, we're hitting Hall of Fame this year. We already locked on and locked in. What are some of the things that you're teaching the agents on your team to do? Give us 3 or 4 things that is drop dead, non-negotiable items for them to do, or set up or some sort of success plan that you have for them to hit Hall of Fame?
So one, what we do is important. We are protecting families. This is a purpose. When you wake up in the morning, there's a family out there that is not protected. It is your job to go out there and protect your families. The families, you're an educator. Your job is to show people how unprepared they are for retirement, right? That is your job, right? So the minute you value what you do, you wake up every morning with a purpose. I need to protect families today. I need to talk to people about their retirement. So the first thing is that I show them the value of why we do what we do. 2, I talk to them about discipline, right? What time you getting out of bed? What are you doing with your time? Who are the people around you, right? How many hours are you putting in? If you did double shifts when you were employed, why are you putting 4 hours into your own job? Don't you love your job better than your own job, you being your own employer, right? How many hours are you putting in? And then, of course, plug in trainings, plug into the trainings, read books. I send them books every now and then. You're trying to sharpen yourself because confidence comes from constant training, watching videos, reading, right? Constantly improve on yourself so that the difference between, and I keep saying this, one client, 2 agents didn't buy from one agent, but bought from the other agent. What was the difference?
Mm-hmm.
It was the presentation and the connection,
Mm-hmm.
right? Are you connecting with the client? What kind of a presentation are you putting out there? Right? So that is what we are constantly working on. Perfect your presentation, perfect your connection, educate, don't sell, don't go, you need to buy these. Educate them why they need it. Make them insecure that they don't have life insurance. Should something happen tomorrow, would your kids pay the mortgage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got another question. Heather, my girl Heather Roberson.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
lady. Go ahead and ask your question.
I have a quick question for Billa. I've seen you in a couple of places. I don't, you probably don't remember me, but that's fine. Um, are you doing warm market recruiting only, or do you have other ways that you're doing recruiting?
Everything I do is warm market.
So for agents
Mm.
from agents from agents.
I am in my community. I attend their events. I speak in churches, reunions, baby showers, birthday parties. I am out there. And what it has done is that people now know me as the insurance person. Even when I'm not there, they know they have an insurance person.
Nice.
So I network a lot, right? When I go, and that's why I say don't have a clique of friends, because if you go to a party, then you just keep chatting with your friends and not meeting new people that would be your client next week, right? So I do warm market. I use social media, not my social media, but social media groups. This year I'm gonna use my social media and I'll create a campaign of sorts just to create a buzz and have people follow. Social media is the easiest way to reach out to people, but most of us are afraid to put ourselves out there that way. My new agent, Esther, that's here, uses her Facebook. And she's having lots of clients just reaching out to her. What are you talking about? What is that IUL thing you keep going on about? Because she goes on about it and they're like, okay, I'm calling. Because okay, you talked about it last week. No, on Monday, now again today. Okay, tell me about it, right? Be in their face until they feel the need to call you, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Corey, you back up, lady.
Oh, I just wanted to know, what's your daily schedule look like?
Okay. So, it's funny because my schedules are all over the place. And because I don't dial leads like you guys, because you guys' system is easy. Just bang the phones, right? I spend a lot of time in meditation. I spend my morning coffee is about thinking about where I am and where I'm going, right? When you don't have leads to dial, you have to think where the next batch of business is coming from, right? I'm going to talk to some CPAs. I know they have clients. I need them to hook me up. I need to speak to some nurses. I need to, so the first hours of my morning, when my son goes to school and it's really quiet, I'm meditating. I'm thinking, where am I going next? What am I going to put on social media? I'm in my head, I'm planning. And this is what I've learned. 80% of planning, I just need 20% time to execute. But so long as I've planned well, and when I execute is I've done a live video and I have Zoom meetings for the next 4 days because they're calling me, right? Or I've visited a church and I've given a talk and I have people coming to my house or to my office. So work market is different. Or I wake up and I'm like, okay, I don't know who to talk to today. So I'm going to step out and go to the next people that I know that know people. I'm going to teach this to my team. People that know people, for example, your attorney, CPA, people that can introduce you to other people. I'd be going out there thinking, where do I find my next client? So I'm the person that might not be able to give you a schedule because I'm a warm market person. I'm networking. When I get invitations, birthdays, graduations, I'm looking, who are these people? Who's going to be in attendance? I gotta go. Do I have business cards? Right? So I am like, but I'm constantly in motion, and my son accuses me of constantly thinking about business. And I'm like, I'm not going to that party because I want clients, but I'll have a good time, but I'll also shake a few hands and give a card, right? So I'm constantly thinking, where's the next business? It doesn't matter where I am. I'm in business mode. I'm having a good time, but I'm thinking that's a potential client.
So I have to ask, because I started off in the field. My first year and a half, I was in the field. You know, I bought leads, I dialed my leads, I set appointments, and then I went face to face. So not necessarily, not traditional like you, where it's a little cold and then turn warm, or I met my warm market and got referrals within that circle. Yeah, sometimes, but mostly bought the lead, set the appointment, and then did the face-to-face. For you, I'm curious. Do you like do the follow-up for a follow-up? Because one of the things that we do in telesale is we have mastered or many agents are working to master the one call close. And what you're doing, it's not necessarily a one call close. At least that's what I'm hearing. So you've mastered the follow-up, it sounds to me. Mastered your appointment and the follow-up. And then also you had to have mastered building some rapport. Because like you said, if people only buy from you if they know you and trust you, right? Yeah. So how did you come to really master that? Like, is it because of the circle that perhaps you have created for yourself? Because like you said, now people know you as the insurance lady. Okay, so your reputation now precedes yourself. But what about before that happened? Like, how did that look, and how did you get to that point?
I put myself on social media.
Okay. So you
The
just
one
put yourself
place-
out there.
Yeah, but I went into Facebook groups that I was part of and made sure that I knew who the admins were. And I was like, could you give me a chance to do a live video? Can I put a flyer, poster? Can I educate? Can I, And this is the thing. People don't like to say what they do in public.
Mm.
The only reason people buy from me is because I say what I do.
Ah.
So the reason why you probably don't have home market is because you into privacy. I don't want to be too much. You're
Secret agents.
You're trying to not,
Yeah.
closed mouths don't get fed.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah. Don't be a secret agent.
In my church, you cannot sell insurance. They will tell you they have their person. But when I went there, I didn't know anybody. I just started slowly, one-to-one, to a point where I had we've woven through everybody. To a point, they sent people to me. You need to go see Bilha. Have you seen Bilha? Go see Bilha. Go get some life insurance. Now they're the ambassadors. But I did the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty of that is that over time, it gets easy to a point where even if you're not working, they still send people to you.
Yeah. Are you using any type of, I'm just kind of scanning through the chat. Are you using any type of materials while you're out, or are you the material? Or, what do you use as far as either documentation while you're out? Like if you were to meet me in the coffee shop or something like that, do you give me your business card? Are you giving me your social media page? What are you using to present, or I guess do you have any documentation that you use, or are you that documentation?
I scare them.
You what? You scare them?
Yeah. They'll remember me. They'll remember what I said. Yeah. So when you're having a conversation, people will ask you what you do for work. Any person you will ask you what to do. I tell them I protect families. They're like, from what? I don't say I sell life insurance. And I'm like, I protect families from catastrophes that could cause financial misfortune. See how that sounds? And now they're interested. They don't know it's life insurance yet. And then they say, what do you mean? And I'm like, so today, if you didn't go home today, if you drove out of here and you didn't make it home, is your mortgage paid off? Would your kids eat? If you suffered cancer today and you had to go through treatment for the next 5 years, how would that look like in your home? So what I do is that I make sure that should cancer knock your door, I bring you a check. Are you putting some money for your kids for college? Notice how I don't say I'm a life insurance agent. I'm just asking questions. Are you putting away money for your kids that they don't struggle the way we did? $50 to $100. And I tell them protection is $100 or less because I like to sell term policies. They come because they think it's $100 or less, but they live with $1,000 IUL. But they came because I said it was $100 or less. And I tell them, cancer is an epidemic right now for women, breast cancer. And I wish we would all get protection, because the minute it hits your home, it leaves a lot of financial devastation. It's the hospital bills. It's you becoming, is your husband becoming your caregiver now. Two people are not working. And 65% of bankruptcies in America is because of an illness. And what I do is like 100 or less. You know, if you have time next week, I could get on Zoom and show you. And I give them my card. And they go thinking about that, and they're scared. And they call me, and like, come do this. I'm scared. I mean, I want them to call me with urgency, because my job is to sensitize them that they're not protected, right? So these are conversations you can start in groups. What are you doing for your retirement? We're in our 40s, man. We're retiring in less than 20. Do you have $1 million?
That's
Are we
real.
going to work at Walmart?
That's real.
Are we going to work at Walmart? What do you say?
That's
yeah,
real.
those are, and this goes to when you value what you do and realize how important it is. You don't struggle to tell somebody. I just received a call this afternoon from somebody whose husband just got cancer. And they're telling me they should have got that policy.
Yeah.
What if I didn't tell them? I'd rather tell them and they don't buy. But I got another call last year, February, and they had insurance, and National Life Group paid that family. And she cries and she tells me, Bilha, if I knew I was going to get cancer, I would have bought $3,000. So when you realize how important this is, you don't struggle to talk about it in any of your circles. It will be awkward the first time. The first year, that's the agent that keeps talking about insurance things. The third year, they'll be asking for your calendar. We need you to come and speak to the men's conference. We need you to come and talk about finance. They'll be reaching out to you and you'll be saying no. Because now you know where you made money and where. Now people reach out to me. Can you come speak? Can you come speak? But the first time it was the weirdo that is always talking about insurance things. But this is the thing you need to know about insurance. They don't like it the first time you tell them about it, but they heard you. And they're going to think about it.
Yeah.
And they're going to call you 1 year later or 3 months later. Just keep doing your job. You're an ambassador.
Yeah. Plant the seed. Yeah.
Yeah. Turn those little kids into millionaires. I don't know if you guys do IULs or final expense, but whatever it is that you guys focus on, keep saying it, keep doing it. The thing is, don't think about the outcome, just the process. Just keep going with the process. It pays off in a way you'd never imagined.
Someone did ask in the chat, what book would you recommend? I know that you personal develop and you do motivation and affirmations and things of that nature. Is there a book that you would recommend? That was a question as well.
Yeah. If you want to understand protection, how to talk to clients about protection, because that's a skill. People don't like to talk about death, illness, or accident. There's a book called Bridge Your Gap, let me look it up. Jim Effner, Bridge Your Gap. I don't know if somebody can find it on Amazon or Google that. Jim Effner, Bridge the Gap or Bridge Your Gap. Let me try. See if I can get that, pull that.
And while you're looking that up, ladies, I just want to remind you before I forget, there is a Ladies Thrive group in the WhatsApp. I want you all to please make sure that you join, because when we have speakers and they give us these nuggets or they give us books like Bilha is going to give us, I want to make sure that I can repost it in our group chat. And so if you take down my number, I'm posting it in the chat. If you text me, I will add you to the Ladies Thrive group chat. Is that the link? Did Lori, is it called Bridge the Gap?
Bridge Your Gap, Jim Effner.
Bridge Your Gap. Okay.
Bridge Your Gap, Jim Effner.
Yep.
I read that book page by page just to get my mind in a space. Bridge Your Gap. Yeah, there it is. just to get my mind in a space where I understood why life insurance, even before we talk about the IUL, why life insurance is important. Why is it 1 million or 2 million or 5 million? Why do families need at least 1 million? Because you could be out there selling people 200,000 in coverage and they need 1 million. It breaks that down. So when you're having a conversation with the client, you know why it's 1 million. How much is the mortgage there? How much do we need for your kids for college? So it's a whole calculation. You're coming out as a professional. You're not just throwing numbers out there. I can get you 200,000. How did you come up with that? Right? So this book breaks down life insurance into small. And then there's the money, wealth, and life insurance. That one is for the IUL beyond banker. If you're looking to sell huge IULs, you want to read that by Jake
Wealth
Thompson.
and what?
Money, Wealth, and Life Insurance by Jake Thompson.
Gotcha.
Money, Wealth, Life Insurance.
Ladies, I'll make sure we post this in the WhatsApp and Thrive. I'll make sure we post that for you all.
That one, if you want to sell the be your own bank concept,
Okay.
that's the book. And there's others, Power of Zero. If of course you're into things like taxes, you want to understand all that stuff. There's so many other books, you know, and then self-improvement books. The speaker that comes every convention, you guys. Who's this guy? What's his name?
I know you're talking about the white guy. Anderson. He is the best. Yes.
He does. You want to buy his books.
Yes, he's awesome.
And if you're not a reader, you can follow people that put out content on motivation and discipline, and you don't have to be a reader. There's a lot of, to get your mindset right, you can always have people you follow that put you in the right mindset, right? If you don't feel confident, read a book before you meet a client. You'll have stuff to say, right? Even if you repeat the same things over and over, but if you're feeling blank or unprepared, read a book. You go out there sounding like a professional and be like, oh, she's different from the other agents that I've met.
Yeah.
You want them to look at you like a professional. Women, excellence is a thing we need to cultivate because men do it without apologies. And celebrate your success. Stop thinking that success is something to be embarrassed about. A man is not afraid to say, I'm $1 million producer. Nobody thinks he's bragging. Or nobody thinks, you know, she thinks she's all that. Because the minute you put your success out there, you motivate another woman. Some will think you're bragging, but you're motivating somebody that might look at you and think, I can do that. And also, it gives you your own confidence. Just putting yourself out there, then you have to live up to it. Okay, I did 1 million. I can do 200 next year. Right? They already know I did 1 million. Being private about your success, because putting it out there attracts people to you. There are clients that called me because they saw I was leading in my team. So they thought she must be really good if she's number 2 in the team. Oh, I saw you doing very well. I saw you like number 2, and they're watching.
Yeah.
They want to look at you and think you're good at what you do, but if you're not saying it, if you're not putting yourself out there, then they come and like, oh, can you teach me your business? I've been watching you, and I think, you know, don't be private about it. Yeah. I think I've said it all.
No, thank you so much, Bilha. Two things I want to leave us with. Well, first of all, let's clap it up for Bilha tonight. I mean, we're kicking off 2025. We're thriving. I wrote down notes. I hope you all did. Thank you so much. Time zone difference and everything. It's amazing. I reached out to her and 30 seconds. Sure, I do it for you. What time is your call? And I said, thank you so much. So Bilha, I can't wait to see you again in conference in 2 weeks. Ladies, one thing I do want to say before we leave the call, because I know some of us are dropping off, let's please say a special prayer out to all of our people who are in Southern California who are affected by the fires. It's a very real thing. It's affected my family, my sister-in-law, her parents and grandparents, homes got totally burned down from the fire. So if you have agents out there, or if you are an agent out there, we just wanted to let you know we are thinking of you and we're sending hearts your way. But let's just be real cognizant of that. It kind of leads us to life insurance, right? We got to
Yep.
talk to people. We got to let them know, because you just don't know what's going to happen. But I want to leave you all with this. Think and act like a man. Put yourself first. Put yourself first, ladies. Get those books. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all at conference in 2 weeks, literally 20 days. We're 20
I
days
didn't even
away.
know it's 2 weeks. Wow.
Time, when I say time is waiting for no one, it keeps on moving. So we're going to thrive in 25, ladies. Till we meet again. Thank you all. Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.